Hello, hello. Sorry I'm a little bit late, but I made it. Hey guys, how are you? I am actually in my little office space here. It's like way out of the way, nowhere near like any shopping areas or anything crazy like that. It's completely like by itself. So I came here to actually get my work computer because we have my laptop at home, and with the girls both doing schoolwork from home, they both kind of need a computer, so, and a printer. We need a printer to print out all their worksheets and stuff. So, hey Trista, what's up, girl? So yeah, I came here to do this, and as I was driving here, I was like remembering, because I haven't driven for a bit, and driving really helps me. Does it help you guys? Like, something about just like having something to do, like that you know the rules, and so you can just kind of do it and let your mind kind of be free or something. I don't know. And then I remembered this tip, and I'm going to do this right now, that my teacher Sonia Choquette told me. And if you're having like, you know, like a bad morning, or like if you're stuck in your head, or you're having your anxious thoughts come up and sabotage you, you know, and like things are going bad, pick up your keys. It's seriously like a reboot. It, for me, instantly, I'm just like, I'm back. You know, my head, I might have been off in like depressed land, or like anxious land, or like victim mode or something, like, woe is me, I can't ever get anything that pick up my keys. Boom, I just know what I need to do. It's really weird, so try that. So I have my keys in my hand right now. But driving definitely helped me. Every day has been having these ups and downs. Have you guys noticed that? Like, you know, we'll have like a really great couple hours in the morning maybe, and then all hell breaks loose for lunch or whatever, and then we kind of regroup, and then we did end up going outside today. Did you guys get outside? Because the sunshine was like super awesome, and that helped a lot. But I'm sure you guys have heard the saying, or whatever it is, like, did you have a bad hour, or did you have a bad day? Because I know I am definitely guilty of hanging on to bad emotions way too long. Have you guys ever noticed that we don't often get stuck in gratitude or in joy or in love? Like, well, unless it's that first couple weeks of a relationship, then maybe you're stuck in that love feeling, which is awesome. But oh my gosh, how many times have I got stuck in like, okay, that hour or half an hour or 10 minutes, to be honest, really sucked. So then for the next 3 or 4 hours, I'm like talking about it, thinking about it. How could I have done that different? Blah, 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 blah. Oh my God, I drive myself crazy sometimes with that. And then I was thinking, like, lately, like, how often do I actually take a moment where I feel love or joy for one of my kids, or like, and just like soak in that, like that feels good. So try that. But today we're talking about staying sane. Like, when things are like this and everything's completely seemingly out of control, what can we do to just kind of give ourselves some comfort? I got thinking about this because of a children's therapist actually was saying that children with anxiety, if you give them a couple like really simple, easy chores or something like that, it really helps them, because they feel like that is something that they can control. So I thought, you know, that kind of makes sense for adults too, you know, especially right now in this time. Our schedules have been shattered, right? I know mine has. Like, I felt so good coming to my office right now, because I haven't been here, and like I haven't been having normal work hours, and it's just felt so crazy. Like, I spent honestly half the day like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, am I a teacher mom right now? Am I just mom, regular mom? Or am I like, you know, work Trisha, like talking to clients, like, what am I doing? So can anybody else relate to that? It's been so odd. So for me with my kids, it doesn't make sense for me to say like, oh, I'm gonna exercise at this time, and I'm gonna meditate at this time, and I'm gonna read at this time, or whatever. No, that does not work for me. That stresses me out more. So these are some things that I've been doing that, even with 3 kids under 10 and homeschooling and trying to talk to my clients and all this stuff, I can still do these little, they may seem tiny, but they really, 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 really help. So I talked about the one yesterday, and it was just basically like I decide before I go to bed what time I'm going to get up in the morning, and I try to make it before my kids. My kids have been getting up around like 8. So I choose like 6 or 6:30 depending on how tired I am. And but then that's it. I don't press snooze. I don't change my mind. And that like sets the tone for me for the whole day. I know it sounds silly, but like I'm someone who I'll get indecisive, and that will like drive my anxiety, and I'll be like, oh, I don't know, should I really do that or this? And that just, it drives my anxiety. So doing that first thing in the morning and not wavering on my decision like just sets me like, okay. And then I just build a little bit more trust in myself, I think. So that is one tiny little thing that has honestly made me feel a lot better in the past week. Another thing that I suggest is picking 2 hours whenever during the day and just completely shutting off your social media. And that's something that you don't need, like you can always do that. That is something that is absolutely in your control, and it will feel really good and freeing, especially right now. There's no reason that we need to be obsessively looking, and some of us do that anyways when something's not going on, but especially now. So I don't care when it is, but if you do that for yourself, that will clear a lot of space in your head so that you will have more room to breathe and let in some ideas that may not have been able to come in because your brain was so taken up with social media, because it's kind of overwhelming right now. I mean, I have enough to do with like checking the barrage of emails that's coming in. I've been trying to kind of limit that too. I mean, I know we see everything on our phones, but you can shut off those notifications if it's getting to be too much. Like sometimes I'll say I'm going to check my email like 3 times a day, and that's it, you know? I mean, that's up to you. I don't know what kind of job you have and if that's totally possible, but I know the social media thing is possible. 2 solid hours, just do it. And then the other thing that I have been doing, and I'm just going to give you a suggestion. Let me also just interject and say, like, I'm with you guys. I'm learning every single day, and I'm just kind of sharing what is working for me. To give you a little bit of a back history, you guys who are watching probably already know, but I struggled with anxiety, depression, and panic attacks for 15 years. Tried everything and finally found some relief with past life regression therapy. And I enjoyed my relief so much that I just decided to train in it and learn it, and now I offer it to other people. But that's how I got started learning all this. And it's really weird because I feel like I just learned all that in like January-ish, and now this happened, and it's kind of like a crash course, and like now you're going to use what you learned, lady, like every single day. This is a practice. And I just want to also say that we've been given, within all of the, bad stuff that of course is going on, we've been given a gift of time. So most of us don't have a million things to run our kids to anymore. We don't have 1,000 appointments outside of the house. We have a little bit more time, or maybe a lot more time in some cases, which gives us a chance to practice some things that we know are good for us. Just basic stuff that we always like say we're gonna do that helps with our mental health that we maybe never do, like taking 5-minute breaks here and there and just breathing, like practicing meditation, practicing having more patience and kindness with ourselves first and then others. So it's kind of a bit of a gift that we have all this time because like I was saying in one of my other videos, our ego mind, or that worrywart mind that's always going to be there, the mind that's like primitive, that's like when we were cave people, like is always scanning to make sure we're safe. So we all still have that. And mine gets really overactive, and that's part of mental health, is like that part of you gets just like super overactive, and even though it doesn't need to be. But that part of you, before this all started, I'm sure you felt like you were stressed out. I know I did, and we all definitely felt like, yeah, we have a very stressful life. And then this happened, and we're like, okay, our life is like double or triple stressful now, right? But that part of you will always pick something if you let it. So for example, if you have the mindset of like, I'll be happy when this crisis is over. I'll be happy when I'm out of debt. I'll be happy when I lose that 20 pounds. That kind of thing is dangerous, because your ego part of you will just pick something else to fill that in. So you'll never actually let yourself feel true joy and just satisfaction if you're always going to let that voice fill in the gap. So right now we get to kind of practice, I'm happy right now. I have what I need right now in this moment. And 99% of the time that's true, right? 99% of the time when we're anxious, we're worried about tomorrow or next week or the summer or something that's out of our control right now. Because what tends to happen is like let's say, like, God forbid, some terrible crisis will come and happen to you. When you're in that crisis, you will snap into motion. You'll know exactly what to do. Boom, boom, boom. The worst part of any crisis is the worrying about it before or the obsessing about it after. The actual crisis is never like that huge of a problem, because our brains know what to do in that moment. So I've just been telling myself that lately, because it's so easy right now to pick something to be like, what if, and then we just start to lose our breath, and then we just go cycling. So I'm practicing that right now. It's just like, right now in this moment, there is no crisis for me. Like, if I'm sitting home with my kids, yeah, we have to be at home, but this is okay. So it's hard, and it does take practice, but it is possible. And then I also talked a little bit about surrendering on Tuesday, I think. And I did remember a story that I wanted to share that kind of illustrates what I was trying to say about that. So when Izzy, my oldest, who is 9.5 now, I can't believe that. I feel really old. When she was in 4-year-old preschool, it was like one of those little, church schools that all they had was like 2 up to 4 years old or something. Like, it was like, then they didn't do kindergarten or anything after that. So it was literally, that was it. And she had been there since she was 2. So she was there for a while. And so 4-year-old preschool was like her last year, and her teachers loved her, and she loved everybody there and all this good stuff. And so it came time for the little program where they sing and they get their little cute baby diplomas and stuff like that. And I told my family to come, and she was actually like one of the kids that sang like the loudest. So I think they really wanted her to come too. Well, of course, we all did. So anyways, the day of the show came, and I picked her up that day from school, and she was like just not herself. She was upset. She was just like not feeling good, and her teachers were like pressuring her a little bit, like, we'll see you later, you're coming back, right? Whatever. And nothing against them. That's all normal stuff to say. And she was kind of like, no, I'm not coming, just little rebel girl, right? And they were trying to make a big stink about it at pickup, where I was trying to just get her to the car, and I was trying to just kind of like fluff it off, like, okay guys, yeah, we'll see you later. And then she would start screaming, and finally I said, okay, Izzy, we don't have to go. Like, we don't have to make such a big deal about it. And even though inside of me, when I'm saying that, I'm thinking like, well, we kind of do, because we told everybody to come and blah, 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 whatever. You know what I'm talking about. And, but then she said, fine, yeah, we're not going. Okay. So then we walked to the car. Well, and I'm putting her in her car seat, and one of the teachers comes up behind me and says, well, you're going to make her come, right? And I said, you know what? I don't know. Like, I don't really feel like dragging a unruly 4-year-old to make her stand there and, do this, And she was like, you're going to let your 4-year-old make that decision? She was just like mom shaming me in the parking lot of like preschool, right? It was odd. But I'm proud of myself, because I'm not always like this. But I said, I'm not making her come, And then that was that, and she stormed off, and I got in the car, and I just thought about it, and I'm like thinking what I should have said. When you're driving home, you're like, oh, I should have said this, I should have said that, whatever. I was thinking I should have said, like, I care more about her than I do about that program, you know? But what I did on the way home was just kind of fully surrender it. I just kind of thought, I'm just going to tell everyone not to come. It's not a big deal. Like, does it really matter in the long run? No. Is it worth, like, fighting with her to get dressed and fighting with her to put her in the car and take a tearful girl in to do that? No. I'm like, no, this is not worth it. I'm just letting it go, right? So I did, and for most of the day, she was like, I'm not going. And so I totally just dropped it. I texted everyone. I said, I don't think you should even try to come. She's not going to go. And then, strangely enough, at 5 or 5:30, like the time where we would be getting ready to go, she was like, hey, Mom, I want to go to my program. So it's just, like, funny, and that's a good example of what happens when you just, like, let something go. Like, you honestly have to be okay either way, which is super tricky, right? But I was, in that day, in that moment, I was okay either way. If she decided to come or not, I was just letting it go. And I knew I was going to maybe hear it from my mom or my husband's mom, like, why didn't you make her, whatever. But I was ready to be like, I just didn't want to. And then it all ended up working out. Everybody saw her, and she got her little baby diploma. She sang the loudest, and we took pictures and videos, and, you know, we got everything that we really wanted and to do. So that's just kind of like what I'm also practicing, and it's a daily practice, because things will come up, and if you get super attached to them, that's when the anxiety starts coming. That's when the control freak stuff starts coming and drags me right down. So I'm just practicing that act of, like, I'm okay either way. And so that, I just wanted to share that with you guys. But so did I tell you the third thing? So we talked about the alarm thing in the morning for making little habits for you to stay sane right now. The alarm thing in the morning, the 2 hours off of social media. And then I have been just, like, taking a picture, at least one picture with my phone a day of something that makes me happy. It could be like, oh, two of my kids are sitting together on the couch. Oh my God, and nobody's screaming. Snap, quick picture, right? Oh, my dog looks really cute right now. Take a picture. We took a walk today and we saw some pretty daffodils, took a picture. So then I made a little folder or whatever in my pictures. And so anytime I'm starting to feel like, woe is me, what is going on? This is horrible. Like, I can't do this anymore. I open that and I scroll through those, and I'm like, okay, it's really not that bad. You know, these good things are happening, and I've noticed some beauty and this and that, whatever. So those are just 3 little tiny things, but it's just something that we can all do, whether our kids are being ridiculous and fighting and not doing anything that they're supposed to do, or, like, we're trying to do a conference call and it's like everything's shitty and hard. And so no matter what is going on, we can choose what time to get up in the morning and stick with it. We can decide 2 hours to not go on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, to just clear ourselves out. Because a lot of times I found that a lot of my depression and anxiety isn't even my own, which frustrates the hell out of me. Like, I don't know if you guys are like this, but I'm really, like, I take on other people's energy really easily. So that'll be a whole nother live about so many things I've learned to protect that. And it's very, very noticeable when I am grounded and when I am in my good place and I'm protected and I've done what I need to do to protect my energy. The difference is astounding. But scrolling through social media, or if you have, like, alarmist Aunt Annie's calling and it's going to tell you all the bad news and whatever, all that stuff can get stuck in you, and everyone to different levels. It gets stuck in me hardcore, so I have to really be careful. And I know immediately if I see, like, news emails I don't need to know, but it has, like, an alarmist kind of subject line, or, like, if somebody's watching the news and it's stuck, I have to leave the room. I just do. I know what I need to know. I don't need to know all the worst of the worst of the worst that's going on right now. I don't need to know that. I need to know what I need to do to keep my family safe and healthy and follow the, guidelines we've been given about everything. I need to know that, but I do not need to know every single nasty, horrible thing that's going on. So I have to literally leave the room if it's on TV. I have to, this is what I do if, because I have a couple relatives that I like to talk to, but then they'll start, okay, bad news train, here it comes, like, okay. So I literally like take the phone and I hold it over here. And so I don't even hear half of it, but I know what I'm supposed to say. So I bring it back and I'm like, oh, I know, gosh, this is just nuts, and then I try to change the subject. You would not believe how much that helps. Like, it has saved me from like just, you guys, like, do you feel that like panic will start just rising on me? And I'm just like, oh, hell no. Like, you're going to go over here and okay, yeah, very good. All right, bye. That's all. So I'm really learning my boundaries, like, extremely right now, which is actually a gift in disguise, because these are things I've always known that I should do. I mean, I've always known that I've been very sensitive to stuff like that, but yet I will walk into a room and my husband's watching something that really makes me feel awful, and I'll sit there. I used to sit there and watch it and then not be able to sleep, and like, I don't know, like, why do we do these things? I don't know, but or like I would indulge in that conversation with all the bad news, and then I would start, do you ever do this? To start adding to it, oh yeah, this bad is happening to me, and like, oh, just, I feel nauseous in my stomach right now just even saying this to you guys. But these are things I've always known that I needed to not do, and now I'm finally like, I have to not do these things. Like, this is vital for me to get through this right now, and I'm gonna keep this going. So I encourage you guys, if you pick up any good habits during this time, like good mental health habits, like, please keep them, because it's only for the better. And nothing, taking care of yourself is never gonna hurt anything. So I don't even know what time it is. I have to get this computer and printer back to my house and do bath time and all that good stuff. And I'm sure you guys have stuff to do too. But thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna try to get all this material that I talked about over the past. Oh, we have one more day tomorrow. But I'm gonna try to get it all in one place so that it's like easily accessible. And I'm gonna write it all like on my website too. Oh, one more thing. If anyone's like me and have like your own business, so you're like sort of working from home, but kind of like, oh, I'm my boss, so what the hell, what do I do, and you have your kids running around and stuff. So like, I'll set like a super tiny goal. Like, I'm going to write a blog today. And so I know the night before, maybe when I'm like, after the kids go to bed, I can think about it a little bit. Okay, what are the steps that I need to do to get a blog out? Okay, well, I need at least 300 words to write. I need 1 or 2 pictures, and I need to actually sit there and type it. So how can I break that down into, like, my kids will give me 5 minutes, maybe 7 times today. So in the first 5 minutes, maybe I can find one of the pictures. The next 5 minutes, another picture. The next 5 minutes, write a paragraph. The next 5 minutes, write a paragraph. Stuff like that. So, like, because I've had so many days, have you, where the whole day goes by and you're like, I wanted to write a blog. I wanted to email so-and-so. I wanted to, and I hate that. That just doesn't feel good at all. That makes me feel powerless, and that's the last thing that I ever want to feel. So, even if you only get 5 minutes here and there, you can put something together. You can put together an email. You can put together a blog. Whatever else kind of goals you have for your business or for your life. Like, sometimes I'll go a whole week and be like, oh wait, I think I was supposed to pay like 3 bills or something, stupid. And like, it's because I'm waiting for like a big chunk of time to show up, miraculously in my day. And that's just unrealistic, especially right now. So yeah, I've been breaking things down into itty tiny bitty pieces so that it just feels better. So you can like appreciate yourself a little more, like, oh, I got half of my thing done. It's only 11 a.m., So I would love to hear any feedback from you guys. What's going on with you? Are you working? Are you home? What are you doing? So let me know if I can improve on these lives, or if you have questions, I would love to answer them. I'm here for you. I'll be here again tomorrow at 7. All right, bye guys.